Hello, fellow X-Wing players. Andrew Pollard here, co-host of UCX podcast, here with a very special segment of our show today. I want to talk about one of the pilots in the game, one of the most beloved characters in the Star Wars universe who has quite the cult following. Now, let me start by saying this. There are pilots with all types of ranges of abilities. Some like Rick Olay in the Naboo Starfighter, who, if he goes faster than you, can roll an extra die on offense and defense. Seems good. Seems good. Wedge Antilles in the X-Wing, who, when he's attacking you, lowers your agility by 1. Makes you roll 1 less evade dice. Seems good. Iden Visario in the TIE Fighter, who can spend a charge to just cancel all the damage of that attack. You ever roll 3 blanks before? Iden Visario is your pilot. Now, there are some pilots whose ability is not quite as good, and we could talk about a lot of them. Joy in the Fang Fighter, who can spend his munition that he spent 6 points on, advanced proton torpedoes, to fire a 5-dice gun, to then not use that munition and make you just roll 1 less agility. Seems not as good. Seems not as good. Chopper in the Ghost literally gives you jam tokens after you bump him when you have no tokens to get jammed off. Seems pretty wasteful. But there is one pilot whose ability far outweighs the worst pilots in the game. Even Jack, who personally is one of my favorites, he can damage himself. How horrible is that? You take half points on my ship. I'll just damage myself for you. Horrible. But this pilot's ability far outweighs all others. Let me start first by telling you this. New to X-Wing 2.0 is something called the Force. A lot of the pilots have it. There are crew cards that have the Force. It's a token on your ship. Some pilots have 1, 2, even 3 of these tokens. And it reoccurs every round. The inherent ability of this token is that it can be spent to modify a focus result on offense or defense. Built in. Wow, that seems good. You also regenerate one of these Force tokens back at the end of every round. This makes pilots tanky. It makes them hit harder on offense. It's just a built-in modifier. Then some of the pilots can even now spend this modifier to do amazing abilities like Darth Vader, who can spend his Force token to take another action, and spend a Force token to take another action. Really good. Luke Skywalker, who every time he defends regenerates a Force token. So he can roll evade focus, spend the Force for 2 evades, and then you could attack him again and he regenerates that Force and has it again for the next attack and the next attack. Seemingly endless Force. But this one pilot, his Force ability far outweighs all others. And he is Plo Koon. Now I want to show you his card, and I want to read this to you for those who may not be familiar with his ability, or maybe you're new to the game, so you can really hear all the power in his ability. It starts by saying, at the start of the engagement phase. This is good. Well, there's a lot of triggers at the start of the engagement phase. Darth Vader crew does this, where he can spend his Force to make somebody in his firing arc take a damage or remove a green token. Let's read on, Plo Koon, of your ability. You may spend 1 Force. So now he's spending a Force to trigger his ability. Remember what this is, this built-in mod for offense and defense. You may spend 1 Force and choose another friendly ship at range 0 to do. If you do, you may transfer a green token to it. So let me get this straight. You're telling me that I can spend my Force, this built-in mod for offense and defense. I can get rid of this ability to take this token that I used my action for to get a focus, or maybe I even used my other Force to get an evade, and now I can also give away that modification? What? This ability goes on. Or, uh, or you may transfer one orange token from it to yourself. So you can choose that ship who has maybe been tractored or has a weapons disabled, and you can now give it to yourself. So you're telling me I can spend my mod to get rid of my other mod, or I can spend my mod to take a horrible token to now not shoot, or to now tractor myself and lower my agility? Am I trying to die? Come on, Plo Koon. I know there are Plo Koon fans out there, and this is not against you. But come on. All that being said, he's an Initiative 5 ship with 2 force for under 50 points. Is he really the best ship in the game? That's up to you to decide. Thank you for listening to this special segment of UCX Podcast. If you'd like to support us, listen to UCX Podcasts on any of your podcast streaming platforms. However you like to listen to your podcast, it's free. Also, another way you could support us is by joining our Patreon. You could donate any amount, and all of that strictly goes 100% towards prize support for our local UCX, local Utah X-Wing groups. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. This is Andrew Pollard, Bangarang, signing off.